What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by Earl Ramey Racing Engines, Profab Headers and Exhaust, SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, and RK Motorsports Consulting. What's going on, guys? I'm David.
I'm Sterling. What's up?
Another week. And we have made it to those days that we're back to them, I guess, because weather by Chicken Bone Alley. Here we go. We've made it to those days.
Yeah.
Where I saw it best on Facebook this morning, that it said, first thing in the morning, at 7 a.m., you're turning on the heat because it's cold in the house. At about 9 a.m., you turn the heat off. It's getting comfortable. At about 10, you're opening windows because it's real nice outside. At about 12, a little after, you're turning the air conditioner back on because it's getting hot. And then about 7, and then you go backwards from that. You turn it back off. You open windows. You turn it, then turn the heat on by the time night comes around. It's those days.
Exactly. It sure is, man. Great day. We went through some crazy 33 degrees and then 70, and wonder why everybody's sick. We had 3 people miss work today because they sick. Well, I understand,
So you can't argue with them too much, huh?
No. Can't do it. Can't do it. Yeah. But it's been some nice weather in the daytime. It's been really nice, man. We've been fortunate the past couple weeks, really. They want to be outside all the time for sure. It's been nice.
Oh yeah, I kept a light jacket, a little work jacket, on most of the day today, till about the time I left work. It started warming up finally, and but I like those days. I personally kind of like that when it's long sleeve weather or something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. It was kind of foggy and dreary day for a long time. It finally cleared up pretty now, but yeah, it was, man. It sure was.
I can deal with that sometimes. I'll just sleep through it if I could.
That's
I can't, but
yeah.
but it'd be
nice to.
Yeah, it's a good thought.
Exactly.
Oh, what's been up with you? I got too much to go on. So, what's been up with you?
Yeah, it's been crazy. The past weekend, we started Thursday doing a bunch of the fall carnival stuff. We went and did a little Halloween carnival at Marlboro Academy in Bennettsville. It was really cool, man. There was a lot of cool, fun things to do, and kids, they liked it, of course. Blakely said she was going to do the haunted house.
No.
And we got in there, and she quickly changed her mind. Cole said he thought it sounded like a dirt bike was in there. I said, that's a chainsaw, boy. Oh, and he didn't want to do the hayride or nothing after that. He didn't want no chainsaw getting close to him. So
tell me, we gotta change his mind on that. We like too many haunted houses.
The haunted houses, yeah. That was pretty cool. Did that, and Saturday had at MacArthur Farms here in pretty much Blenheim. Had a really cool thing to do out there. We got out there with the kids and played. Big old slide on all that stuff. So, did all that. That was fun. Had a little fire Saturday night. About perfect for it. About 45 degrees. It felt nice. Made some s'mores. So that was cool. And then church Sunday for sure was great as always. Tried to relax a little bit Sunday afternoon, but that's kind of hard to do for sure because 2 little kiddos don't like to stop too much. So we didn't stop a whole lot.
I hear you. Well, our week was way too busy. Way too busy. Well, I talked about last week that we was going to try to get the car back together, stuff like that. Well, went over there. We got the motor sat in the car and everything. So that's good. I ain't got everything hooked up. I still don't. We kind of decided against it because my dad had to have a little surgery there on Thursday, I think it was. Had some skin cancer stuff on his face, right below his lip and kind of right on the side of his head removed. So we just decided, we was going to take the weekend off from any racing or anything. Wasn't no use. We wouldn't really worry about nothing, Wasn't no huge. It was a pretty decent race out at Florence Motor Speedway, but we just wasn't too worried about it. One of those deals. And so went through the week. Let's see, what was it? Thursday, like I said, my dad had surgery. That went well, actually. They got everything. Their first, what they said they would do was they'd go in, cut so much, go scan it, see if there was any more in it. And once they got it to where there's no more cancer cells around it, then they would stop, and that's where it'd be. Fortunately, they got it all in the first cut on both of them, both spots. So that worked good.
Good.
Then Thursday evening, we had Jackson's parent-teacher conference at school, which is always funny anyway, because, I mean, it's good. Being around Jackson, as, you know, we are and you are and stuff like that, you pick up on the things that he does, and they're really funny to us sometimes, as everybody knows right here. He's autistic, and he will crack you up. Some things he does. He is wide open from the word go. But his teacher was talking about just the funny stuff he does in class more than anything, and she said he was on pace where he's supposed to be. So that's good. Said he was really smart. Said actually he just don't show it when you want him to show it. So I was like, oh yeah, we know.
That's right.
We know. It's all on his time.
100%.
Yep. So anyway, got it done. I think we went and ate with Kayla's family that night. All right. Well, then the fun came in Friday. At about, it was about the time Jackson was supposed to get out of school. I think it was about 1:45 or so. Kayla got a call from school. Jackson was in the nurse's office because he fell and actually tripped over another student, busted his chin open. And the nurse at school said she thought he might need stitches in it. She didn't know. So Kayla went and got him, met her sister up there, who was already at school, actually. Met her sister, and they went and she went to just his doctor's office first, asked the doctor what she thought, and doctor said they might could do the little strips on it, but Jackson, being Jackson, he will never keep those on. So they recommended he probably needed stitches, which is what I figured too. It wasn't it was bad, but it wasn't bad. I mean, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, so Kayla and her sister Crystal went and sat with Jackson in the emergency room from about 3 o'clock, maybe 3:30-ish, till about 12 Friday night.
Great day, bro.
That was ridiculous. I mean, absolutely ridiculous.
For some stitches. That's
4
crazy.
stitches. He got 4 stitches. Yeah, that's what I said too. How
did he like getting stitches? How did that
we'll go. No. Jackson don't like anybody messing with him, especially in his face. So the doctor, I mean, they kind of had a plan that they were going to give him ketamine, actually, and kind of knock him out, or he's going to be kind of out of it, or, you know, whatever, to get the stitches. Well, it only took like 3 or 4 of them. I think it was like 4, including the doctor there, to give him the shot of ketamine. Kayla said they had to like wrap him up in a blanket and hold him, and because he wasn't having that. But she said it was the craziest thing, and she hated it because after he got the shot, like 5 minutes later, he just starts looking all funny around the room, like he was seeing stuff and all this other stuff, and then just starts getting real drowsy, and then just falls out.
Oh, my goodness.
She said if you wasn't sitting there paying attention to him breathing, you'd thought he just fell over dead the way he was.
Yeah.
So that was kind of aggravating. But anyway, so that's how they had to stitch him up. Kayla only got into it with the doctor once, which I don't blame her.
Yeah. She protective of her baby now.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was kind of acting stupid, but, Yeah.
Oh, good.
So whatever. But anyway, so they want him to wake up and everything after they got it, just make sure everything was good. And he woke up and threw up twice. The ketamine did not set well with him, as it doesn't anybody, I don't think. But anyway, so after that, they would figure he'd want somebody to hold him or something like that. And no, he told Kayla he wanted to walk out. He would walk by himself. He was just ready to. He was making sure they wasn't carrying him nowhere else. He was going out of this place.
Yep, he was hitting the road, Jack.
So anyway, that was Friday night. Saturday, let's see what I do. Well, actually, Friday. In the meantime, while they were doing that, I had to go on a service call to a bus, which is nothing too unusual, but kind of unusual on a Friday afternoon. Them drivers normally bring them things in on two wheels if that's all they got left on a Friday.
Right.
But so anyway, got up Saturday. I took my service truck back to work. Got my truck. Came back home for a little while. Then we took some stuff to my parents' house. Nothing too big. But then we went to a little, I guess, kind of like a Halloween party type thing that some friends of ours from church throw every year. It was a Lizzie and Hamp over there. It was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. They had a big old blow up projector screen over there. So we was watching a football game on it for a while. And how about our Gamecocks winning them another game? They pulled it out over A&M there.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm so proud of them. They're doing better, man. They're coming along. I ain't saying a whole lot by no means, but
oh no.
They, and they're ranked now, which scares me because it seems like every time they get ranked, they end up,
Well, look at our next
falling
game
off.
coming up. It's bound to fall off.
Yeah, there's gonna be some foliage, I'm sure, here pretty soon.
First time we've been ranked, though. First time Carolina has been, South Carolina Gamecocks have been ranked since 2018.
Yeah.
Which is...
Yeah, that's pretty sad, kind of, sort of, but,
yeah. Well, knowing what all we went through with end of Spurrier and then into Muschamp and all that crap, and we're still kind of suffering from that. On the football front there, I guess, it is a point that we're going in a positive direction, I guess.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely going positive and improving. No doubt about that. Definitely improving a lot, and just get everybody to play together. I think it's just take a little time, like you say. But we got Vanderbilt and Missouri.
Yep.
I think there's two teams we could beat them. So
I think we got them too. If we could play like we did against Kentucky and against A&M, against Missouri and Vanderbilt, I think we got those games. Can get those games. Now we can easily lose them also.
Yes.
Tennessee, those going to be a
little tougher.
That's going to be a little tougher. And Clemson going to be tough.
Yeah. Florida too. I don't know. That's
we beat Florida
up,
last year. We beat Florida last year.
Yeah. So maybe we can go beat Florida. If we win 3 more games, that'll be 8 and 4 this year. That's one better than we did last year. So
hey, I can deal with that.
Yeah, we keep on moving up a little bit, but you never know, man. We might go beat Clemson.
It's possible. I'm gonna tell you what, Syracuse always gives Clemson all they can stand for some reason.
Always,
but they gave that game back to Clemson.
Saturday. Yeah, they kind of just quit. Seemed like, I don't know, just they were done with it.
Well, it's like I did tell somebody. I was like, well, Clemson did. I will give it to Clemson. They kept playing. They didn't stop playing.
Yeah, they did. And their backup quarterback, whoever that is, whatever his name is, he came in and did pretty good after the other dude threw some interceptions there. Yeah, bad as I hate to say it, I got to give them credit. They made it work, made it happen, and got another win. So
Yep.
they doing what they got to do.
For sure. Well, then anyway, yesterday went to church, had a good service there. Sterling said already. But then went to my parents' house. We ate some meatloaf. Meatloaf, Mom, more meatloaf now.
yes.
But watched the race some there. Turned on some football afterwards, and actually we went outside and played some cornhole for a while.
Sweet.
I had to go whip up on everybody in some cornhole.
Yeah, we played a little cornhole Saturday. Too, I haven't played in a long time, so that was fun. That was fun.
I hadn't either. All right, well, what about, speaking of, while we were on the football subject, how about the Panthers beating Tampa Bay?
Yeah, I don't really understand what's going on, man. Is that the only team they've beat this year? I don't know.
Yeah. How do you go from being horrible to beating? Well, I know what happened. I mean, it's obvious what happened with Tampa Bay. Brady, I will still give Brady, he's still a good quarterback. Still a good quarterback. I mean, he's not bad at all. But when you got a receiver that you hit him in the hands and he drops every pass,
yes,
it doesn't matter how good you are.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, man, I don't know. It's
but also, I think everybody at the Panthers up there are scared they're gonna lose their job because I mean, like, they done got rid of everybody here lately. They got rid of their coach, got rid of their what's his face? What was he? Daggone it. Running back? Wide receiver? I don't remember.
McCaffrey.
Yeah,
Christian McCaffrey.
Right. Got rid of McCaffrey, and I'm like, dang, they just getting rid of everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
They get rid of people and get better. How you do that?
Hey, man, like you said, they're scared, but I don't want to lose my job. I want to play better.
I ain't kidding.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we might as well go into the race from this past weekend. How about Ty Majeski picking him up another truck win?
Man, he's coming on when he's got to, ain't he, bro?
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, that's pretty impressive for a guy that, you know, obviously he's out of the Midwest, but we've seen him run a lot around here. Has come over here to Florence Motor Speedway, won the past 2 years at the Charlie Powell Memorial South Carolina 400, which is coming up next month. There's some things we got to talk about that for sure, but it's impressive to see him go from that. He kind of went from, you know, kind of a part-time truck deal, didn't really know what was going to happen, to all of a sudden, last minute, got a truck ride for this year, and it looks like he might be one of them to beat for the championship.
Yeah, I believe he is, and I think Phoenix will be right up his alley too, man. That's kind of a driver's track, and Ty's definitely a driver, and yeah, I agree, man. He's gonna be right up in there, dude.
That's crazy. He put it on him again. So we'll be pulling for him for sure. But while we're talking about it right there, we talk about the 400 South Carolina Charlie Powell Memorial 400 coming to Florence Motor Speedway. Y'all, I just want to say this. I know a little bit what's going on. I can't let out. But everybody is going to be wanting to listen up real soon about some announcements that are coming out about the I think this is the 30th annual South Carolina 400 Charlie Powell Memorial here, dating back obviously from Myrtle Beach Speedway and now moving over to Florence Motor Speedway. But there is a big announcement coming up about it that I'm just going to put it this way. I got a feeling you're going to want to go ahead and buy your tickets for it. Because the house is going to be packed.
Yes.
And all you have to do is go to FlorenceMotorspeedway.com and you can go ahead and start buying your tickets for it, checking it out, getting ready for it, because you're going to want to get your tickets to this show. Plus, yours truly will be there Friday night. First of all, just doing the qualifying lineup show. We're going to be drawing for the qualifying lineup, and yours truly, myself, will be hosting that. So, kind of cool to see which
absolutely
drivers we're going to talk to. We'll have Steve Zacharias on here in the next coming weeks to talk about everything that's going to be going on with that. But like I said, be paying attention. If you don't follow them already on all the social media, be paying attention to Florence Motor Speedway on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Big announcements coming out that you're going to want to be hearing about and you're going to want to be seeing in person. So get ready for it. But so anyway, moved on. They were at Homestead, obviously, as we talked about there. On the NASCAR series. Xfinity. Noah Gragson picks him up another win.
About 7 this year?
Yeah, locking him in, obviously, to Phoenix in the final round to go for a championship. Him and Josh Berry locked in. Justin Allgaier looks like he's on the right path to be locked in, hopefully.
Yep.
Man, I'd love to. I don't know. It ain't that I'm just jumping on the junior motorsports bandwagon by no means. I just think it'd be cool for anybody. And obviously they're the only ones that can do it right now. But I think it would be really cool to see a 4-car team like that have all 4 of their cars in the Final Four. Yeah,
that would be crazy to see, no doubt. Very possible. Sure is. I mean, Sam Mayer's running good. I mean, the whole team's running good right now for sure. And it seems to me like AJ's Allmendinger, he's kind of fell off here towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Because I like to see AJ in it too. I like AJ.
Oh, I like AJ a lot. I don't know, something's happened to him these last
he's just kind of falling out.
Yeah. Since
he's running better in the Cup car than he is in the since the Roval, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, so yeah, I don't know, man. I like to see it. I really would. It would be really cool to see all them cars in there and knowing they had a sure championship to take back. Mooresville, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be sweet for any team. I mean, and I wouldn't care who it was. I wouldn't care if it were honestly. I wouldn't care if it was Gibbs cars, all 4 in there, but there's not 4 Gibbs cars. But just seeing a team work that hard and getting all their cars, and even to have them where they are right now, all of them have a chance right now to make it to in the final race. That's impressive. That is, I think Junior Motorsports kind of stepped up and became that team. And it was kind of in years past. You had the Gibbs up there that was stupid strong, and don't get me wrong, Gibbs still has stupid strong cars. But if you look at the overall team to beat every week, seems like this year, that Junior Motorsports team is definitely seeming like they're the ones to beat right now.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, which I texted our buddy Tyler Munn this morning, told him that was an awesome job this weekend, getting him a twofer with Noah and Kyle Larson there. So let's go to Cup race. And I guess we got to backtrack a little bit. Talked a good bit last week about the incident, with Bubba and Kyle. last week. This was before the announcement came out. So I guess we got to go react to that. Bubba got a 1 race suspension. That's all he got. No fine, no points. Just a suspension. 1 race, which I mean is pretty bad, I guess. There was a lot of opinions about it. Now, I will say, I don't think I saw anybody disagree with him getting suspended. Even his own team, none of them disagreed with him getting suspended for a race. Now, I saw varying opinions on the level, I guess you would say, of what he should get, if it should be the 1 race, if it should have been the 1 race like he got, if it should be more, if there should be a fine involved, if there should be, points involved, something like that. What you think about it?
Well, I mean, like you said, there's just so many different opinions, and some of them I've agreed with, some of them I haven't, but I'm more of the latter of the stiffer penalty opinion. And it's not, I've thought about it a lot, and I think a lot of the, like, Kyle Petty and Kenny Wallace, all these higher, I guess people that have a saying, if you will, or their saying matters, which it matters any more than ours, I don't really know. But I think a lot of people want to see stiffer penalties on him just because it's his freaking attitude, man. Like, it's just bad to say, but it's the truth.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, my opinion, biggest thing that I don't see was right with what they did was, for one, they didn't fine him any. I mean, him missing a race, okay, that's pretty bad, I guess, whatever. But, like, the way I don't like it is, okay, you leave a tire loose.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to go to the same thing.
Your tire changer, your jack man, your crew chief gone for 4 races. What's up with that?
And they're not intentionally doing any harm to anybody.
Any harm to anybody.
No, I mean, it could potentially, yes, potentially.
But I mean, you're not saying, well, I'm gonna leave this tire loose so it'll come off and it'll kill my driver. No, that ain't what.
I promise you now, if a tire is loose, it is by accident.
100%. And, so I kind of look at it as that too. All right, if you're gonna penalize them for 4 races, like Kyle Busch's crew chief and all them, they're going for the rest of the year.
Yep. And Daytona 500.
In the first race. Right. Is that right? Is that, I mean, if that is right, then how can what Bubba did be even close to being okay at 1 race suspension? I just can't see that. And then the whole lying part about it. I mean, yes, I heard his spotter, whatever his name is, say something about you gotta pretty much come up with something and lie about it. No, you don't. I mean, my opinion, that looks worse than anything. My daddy always told me, so you gonna get, if you done wrong and I find out about it and you lied to me, it's gonna be a whole lot worse. So, like, come on, man, like, just own up to it, Bo. Yeah, I went down there and I tried to take him out. Yeah, blah blah blah, whatever. Do you think that changed what NASCAR did because of what he said in the interview? No, I don't.
Well, my thing is about it now is, used to, yeah, you might could get by with that. Man, steering broke when I hit, and it just took off that way. You could get by with that then. Problem is now is I can look online myself, and they got way more data than I can even look at. But I can see his throttle traces. I can see, they can see steering. They can see everything. When he exact moment of when he got out the gas was in the brakes, when he was back in the gas, where his steering wheel turned, at any given moment, and line that all up with video. Not very hard to do.
Not at all.
So, my thing is, why even lie? I mean, like you said, why lie about it? Because even if you won't lie about it, it don't matter. They can see exactly what you did.
Right. And then, I mean, it just, to me, that makes you look that much more like a fool.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you already look like a fool doing what you did. And now you're going to do that? Come on, man. I've honestly, I have no respect for that dude. And it's bad to say that because I liked him when he was first coming up in trucks and all that. And, I mean, I liked him. He was cool and had a cool attitude. But now, man, it's just, I don't like it. And I really believe there was a lot said to him behind the 2311 doors.
It sounds that way. Yeah, I mean, it actually kind of does sound. I heard that. I mean, just hearing. I mean, I have no clue. I hadn't been there, but heard Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was not happy with him at all. Sounded like, because Denny Hammond was asked about it, and he said he was. There was punishment that he had also at 2311. Sounded like he wasn't happy with him at all. Now, don't get me wrong. This is the racer in me. I understand somebody runs you up track like that, runs you in the wall, whatever. Regardless if they meant to or not, regardless, you're not happy about it. The racer in me 100% understands that. It's like, why would you put yourself in the place to put me in a bad place? You know, that's my thought, because I've had it happen to me before.
Oh yeah, but I mean, dude, I saw where I think it was AJ Allmendinger. I think he did the exact same thing to Josh Berry the day before.
Yeah,
and Josh got in the wall, and Josh Berry went and won the race. Okay, I mean that ain't necessarily comparing apples to apples. Pretty close, but it was early enough in that race. They could have done. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they could have done some things and got the car back better. He had an awesome race car.
Yeah, well, this is my thing about it. Regardless, I mean, yes, you know it happened. I mean, and you're mad about it. But regardless, you can make somebody. He could have made Kyle Larson have a really bad day at Las Vegas without taking him out, without retaliating instantly.
Right.
It's not hard. You could literally do the same thing to him. And it just looks like, man, I was on the bottom. He was the same thing kind of happened. Just lost a nose. You know, I mean, that's, you come off of there and you put somebody in a wall like that, not a thing said. It's like, well, you know, they look at it as eye for an eye. All right, all done. Whatever. But just doing it at the speed and at it's the whole right rear thing. Because I hate to say this, but say he'd stayed in it, went down in turn one, say Kyle washed up, and he went and got him in the left rear, I don't think anything would have been said about it.
No, I don't. A retaliation like he did is why it was done. I mean, you know, you can easily wreck somebody and make it look like a racing thing, no problem. They do it all the time, you know. But that was definitely not that way. And again, going back to my main reasoning or main topic was did I think it's enough? No, I don't think it was enough. I think it should have been 5, 6, 7 races going into next year, whatever. A one race suspension for him with no penalty of points, it's not going to really affect him that much. What is that doing? That's like sitting in timeout during recess. Okay, but you're good tomorrow. You all right?
That's my thing about it is, if you look at it with the playoffs now, yes, he could have been racing for a better points position, I guess. I mean, whatever. But he's still not going to get but so great. The car's going to keep going for owner's points regardless of who was in it. That's the whole reason they changed numbers from 45 or from 23 to 45 when Kurt went out, was just because they wanted to hopefully, better the owner's points because they were running better at the end of the year. But that's my whole thing is other than sitting out, now don't get me wrong, as a driver, you sit out and watch somebody else drive your car, especially they took his name off the door and put John Hunter's on there. Hey, you probably, feel pretty low at that point. And I will say he did tweet out, Bubba Wallace tweeted yesterday or Sunday, DoorDashed a slice of humble pie, something like that. And so he was sitting at 2311, was going to help from headquarters, or basically, that's paraphrasing basically what he said. So I guess he realizes that he was wrong in what he did. I will have to say I know Kyle Petty kind of went on a whole deal and about Bubba and saying he should have been suspended the rest of the year. I don't know. And the reason I say I don't know is, are we going off of precedents that have been set already, or are we making new stuff up? Because the reason I say this is because look what Kyle Busch did to Kevin Harvick at Darlington. Granted, right, Kevin Harvick was able to continue, but he did the exact same move to Kevin Harvick going down the front straightaway. Kyle Busch was not, I don't think he was penalized at all for it.
Right.
So if we're going off of precedent set, no, I don't guess you do anything. Now, if we're trying to change the way these drivers are thinking, you got to suspend them. Now,
well, make an example out of them or something.
Exactly. Now, and this is something else that I think Jeff Burton said yesterday. He said, I agree with it 100%. Not saying, we haven't all taken somebody out at some point in retaliating, but the way he done it was bad. Now, that's going to be the hard line to draw now. That's going to be the tough thing. But
yeah, where it's okay to do it and where it ain't, right?
Exactly. Now, but what Jeff Burton, I think it was yesterday, said was he would like to see, all right, Bubba did this time, he got a 1-race suspension. Next guy to do it, all right, apparently you didn't learn. You're getting 2 races. Somebody go after that, all right, fine, you're getting 3 races. And I think eventually they'll stop.
Right. Well, and like Joey Logano said, when I think the interview, I saw something about, he said something about it, and he was very not cool with it. But kind of what he was from what I gathered from it was, in the corner at Las Vegas, on the straightaway at Martinsville, in the corner at Richmond, okay. But in the dog leg at Las Vegas ain't the place to retaliate. Is that, and here's my other thing. Did he get a 1-race suspension because he retaliated and spun Kyle out? Or did he get a 1-race suspension because he walked down the front straightaway, which you're not supposed to do? Or did he get a 1-race suspension because he didn't go to the what's-it-called thing, the ambulance?
No, what was written by the rule that they used was I'm trying to remember what it was called. I'd have to look it back up. But basically, it was a rough driving retaliation thing. That was why he got the 1-race suspension. They did nothing because of walking down the track. They did nothing because of not going to the ambulance right then.
And see, I don't understand that because I think who was it that there was somebody that didn't go to the ambulance and they got like $25,000 fine.
Yeah.
I think it was Trevor Bain, I think it was. Something like that. I can't remember. But anyway, I don't know. It was just like you might have picked the worst out of them and didn't get all of them. I don't know, but anyway, I know they probably didn't want to throw the rule book at him, I guess, per se. But it's just, I don't think it was enough. I don't. But I think I'm more one-sided because I just don't like his attitude. Like, I see somebody like that, I want to teach him a lesson. You know, like, I want him to learn the dadgum lesson and come back more humble, come back more appreciative.
Come back knowing the sport goes on without you.
Exactly. Like, we don't need you. And nor would they need me. Or nor would they need Kyle Larson. We saw it. That sport went on without Kyle Larson for a year.
Exactly.
And I mean, that ain't apples to apple, but I'm saying that sport don't need Bubba Wallace for sure. But I would love to have the good, positive Bubba Wallace of 3-4 years ago to be in the sport.
Yep.
I would love that. So anyway, I don't know. I digress. I think we've made nothing but a Bubba Wallace show again. But
I mean, that was a topic. I mean, we got to talk about it. I mean, I will say, Freddie Kraft, his Bubba spotter, put on Twitter. He just wrote out unprecedented was all he put. And I said, and this is what I compared it to. I'm like, not really. Not if you think about it. Not in my opinion. I could be wrong. And it was a little different, but I went back years and years and years and years and years and years back to Kyle Busch and Ron Hornaday in the truck race. Yes, it took longer to develop. I mean, for certain, the yellow was already out, but Kyle never slowed down and did the same thing. He right-reared Hornaday into the wall, took him out the race. They sat Kyle Busch out for the rest of the weekend. So, in my opinion, it kind of was precedented. I mean, that's
yes.
I mean, that was kind of that's about the closest I could get to it, and saying, you know, that this is what has happened in the past when people have done it. If you look at
what happened with Matt? Yeah, what happened with him in Martinsville with Joey? That was 2 races, wasn't it?
I can't remember if it was 1 or 2, but yeah, it was. He got suspended for sure.
Right. Exactly.
So my thing is they're talking about, oh, it's never happened before. Yeah, it has. It actually has.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I don't know. I mean, I just and if I remember correctly, I think all of them got a fine to go along with it. And
right.
And Kyle Busch even had to go to anger management.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I was about to say. So I don't know. Freddie's biased to his driver, and rightfully so. I mean, whatever. But I think what Bubba needs more so in his true friends and his true alliances, and Freddie and you know his team, I think they need to just like grab him and shake him a little bit. Like, hey man, look where you at. Look what you got. Just. Because it ain't just this weekend. I mean, we've said this for a long time. I mean, it's so much. Like, go back to being fun Bubba. Like, enjoying it. Like, dude, there would be 1 million people lined up at 2311 doors to get a chance in that 45 or 23 or whatever car.
Yep.
Enjoy it. I mean, good Lord, dude. If it's that big a deal, I mean, I don't know. But anyway, I was hoping and praying that John Hunter Nemechek was going to win that race.
Dude, I'm going to tell you what.
He qualified good. I was like, ooh.
He went out to practice. He was fastest in practice. Went out there, qualified, what was it, 3rd? Something like that.
3rd, I think, yeah.
And then was running 3rd, and then he run out of talent, I guess.
I guess.
No, John Hunter's good. I like John Hunter, and I think he will be a good driver. He just does not have enough time in this new car. That thing steps out on you, and apparently, you could hear it on the in-car camera. He stayed in the gas, thinking he could drive out of it, and it just kept going around.
Well, it looked identical to what I've seen happen with Kyle Busch about 15 times this year.
Oh yeah.
It's like exactly the same location. So whatever it is, that car unloads right there, something coming off. But and this is, and I'm not gonna, I don't want to compare, but I just think it just it opened my eyes a little bit. But like I compared, like Derek Griffith, he got a chance to go in a top tier truck, in a Kyle Busch truck.
Yep.
And the amount of pressure that's on him, he knew this was coming. It was scheduled. It was planned. To go out and do well, and I can't remember what all happened. He lost power steering, or I can't remember what. I don't know.
He got rigged.
Yeah, it was just, but the letdown of that. But for somebody like John Hunter, that's went to the top in a lower tier car, come back, doing awesome, working his way back up, and then get a call. I'd say they probably knew about it Monday, Tuesday, whatever. But get a call that you're going to be in a freaking cup car, in a top tier cup car in 4 days, 3 days, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Man, to go do that and have the poise and just to go out there and do what he did, even that was pretty awesome, man. I like this. I like John Hunter. I like his attitude. He seems really humble dude. And I think we've said this before, but doing what he did was by far the most smartest thing to do for his career. But I think it's more than anything, it's made him realize to be thankful for every opportunity he's got, which I think he was this past weekend.
Yeah, for sure. He's got some good footsteps to follow in. His daddy was a good stand-up racer himself. So it's going to be cool to see. But, all right, so let's move on from there. So, hey, but I think we're going to tie it back in anyway. So, how you think Bubba felt sitting there watching what I guess he felt like last week was his arch nemesis, walking away with the entire race, led all but 60 laps.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome to me, dude. Like, he is determined to win that Owners Championship, buddy.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
And I think he's going to make it a point to go out and win every freaking stage, everything he can win.
We might have the first year that somebody not in the championship is going to win Phoenix.
I really believe so, dude. Like, because he ain't going to take, like, I don't know why, but his not Victor Lane interview, but on-track interview, like, Kyle's determined, but he's like, man, bump all this. I'm just doing my thing from now on. Like, I don't even care. I'm just going. Man.
Did you hear the Scott Bloomquist reference in his front straightaway interview?
I didn't pick up on that. What is that?
He right at the end of it, he said, "I hope all these fans enjoyed that A kicking."
Oh yeah. I did. Yeah.
So how about the Scott Bloomquist reference there?
That's awesome for sure, man. Yeah, he definitely did, rightfully so. And, the little hiccup on pit road, I don't know if people say anything about it or not. And I don't want everybody thinking that we're just Kyle Larson fanboys. I'm not. By no means. I like his ability.
Oh yeah. He's a driver. He's a wheelman.
He's awesome. But they people saying he's spoiling Martin. Martin missed his daggum entrance, dude. Like something serious.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something real quick about that, and I will gladly show anybody how that went. All you gotta do is buy a computer and an iRacing rig, because I'm gonna tell you what I've run just on iRacing at Homestead. When the sun is in a certain location and your windshield is dirty, you cannot see. You are solely depending on your spotter and your crew chief to get you in your pit box there. And that is why Martin drove too deep. And Martin was the only one who admitted. His crew wanted to say that Kyle spun him out and everything. Martin was the only one. He's like, I am half to blame there. I slammed on brakes right in front of him. He said, I thought he would have given me a little bit of room, obviously, but, you know, you ain't going to take all the blame there. But he said, I did. I slowed up right in front of him. But that sun didn't only affect Martin. It also affected Kyle. Well, when he's out on pit road, at that point, he's just cruising. Because he had already come out of his pit, right? I think no, they were still going down. They were still going down. That's right. So, but his was after that. So he's just cruising, waiting on his, and he can't see either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and his nose is touching the bumper of Martin's
right at it.
car, which it should be. I mean, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, you got to keep as much time, you know, close in time as you can to get off pit road fastest.
Right.
So, I mean, that was a pure, and he even mentioned it in his interview there, that I think it was a pure accident. I mean, it sucks. I mean, if you're a driver in front, you want the guy behind you to have a little bit more awareness than that, and I can't disagree with Martin on that. But I think it was an accident.
Well, I mean, you know, you just picture it riding down the interstate at 70 mile an hour, and you 6 inches off somebody's bumper. If that's someone breaks in front of you, you are going to hit them. I'm sorry,
and the sun's in your face.
You're going to hit them. There ain't no doubt about it.
Ride west down I-20 at about 6 o'clock in the evening, 6:15.
Yeah.
And get on somebody's bumper, and if they hit brakes, see if you can slow down fast enough.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. It really ain't. And honestly, you know, when me going back and looking at it, it looked like if Kyle hadn't hit him, he'd have missed his pit stop.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
he was very liable to.
But
he kind of landed in it perfect. I mean, I'm just saying he.
Oh, he did. Nah, he did. He definitely did it.
He had the crew all confused, but he landed in it perfect.
Yeah, for sure. Old Jackman dropped the jacket and ran.
I don't really blame him. I mean, I'm glad nobody got hit, because that was a bad spot to be in. But he landed in there perfect. I'm like, if y'all could do a backward stop real fast, he might not lose all the track position.
I know, man. But yeah, so that was, and Martin was on a freaking mission, dude. He drove back to what, fifth or sixth or something. He was rolling.
He was probably the fastest car on the track there at the end.
At that point, yeah. Kyle was best on long runs, for sure. I mean, he was 0.3, 2 or 3 tenths faster a lap, you know, in that last run before that caution. But
I really thought William Byron was going to stay up there with him most of the day. He looked good.
Yeah.
Tyler Reddick looked awesome. He's always the one on the wall, first one on the wall, and he was Sunday. He was the first guy on the wall out there scraping the wall, like on lap 3. I'm like, go ahead, Tyler. And then he pulled a John Hunter also and run out of talent.
Yep, he failed to hold on to it.
He hit hard too.
But, yeah, and that's the thing about them cars, man. I don't know, like you said, like in the in-car and all, you can't tell it. Like I mean, watching their hands, there ain't no time to save them things, bro. No. Like I don't see, they just freaking break.
Now, I will say something about John Hunter real quick. Did you watch the replay of it where it was a slow spin? Don't get me wrong, it was a slow, long spin. I don't understand why the car, never really came back to him after that, because he didn't really do anything to the car. But it hit the back bumper square. Nothing moved on the car.
Right.
In the old car, it would have at least flattened out the tail section of it,
Yeah, it ain't even scuffed the paint, man. I don't even know what kind of paint they put on them things.
Dude,
the wrap is ridiculous.
It's apparently the hardest one they could find. I mean...
Dude, you couldn't even tell.
I don't.
But
I thought he was. I was like, man, nothing's hurt. He'll be right back up there. But I guess it kind of scared him.
It must have. I don't know. Something changed for sure. But
yeah, it might have. Something might have. You never know. It'd probably bent a toe link by leaning on it too hard. Who knows?
Yeah, them things are made out of PVC, I believe. I don't know.
Well, I've actually seen them. They sell them in the SRI trailer, actually. And so I held one. I looked at it, and I don't understand. it's a piece of metal. I'm gonna say probably about 8 inches long. It's got 2 slots on each end, or got a slot on each end. That goes framed to the A arm there. But what I don't understand is I don't know, it's probably inch diameter out on the ends, but they taper it inward to like it's probably half an inch in the middle of it. And I'm like, why?
Huh.
Why don't you make it solid?
Right.
It really seems like this thing could be beefed up a good bit, unless there's a clearance issue somewhere. And I mean, I haven't seen up under one enough to know. But I'm just kind of like, I think I would make it stout all the way across.
Yeah. Stiffen up something.
Yeah. I mean, everything else is stiff on the car. Why not make that stiff too?
Exactly.
So, I really thought we'd see more of that, though. Attrition of bent toe links.
Yeah, being that they're hitting the right side so much.
Yeah, but I didn't really see much of that. Or if they were, they just didn't bend them enough, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I definitely did not see that.
I'm waiting for them to get those, like the passenger door was, what was that, in, I don't know, 2010-ish, I guess it was. Where they tried to bend the door.
Yeah. I'm trying to kick it in on pit stops.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to figure out some geometry on these things where they're figuring out, where they need to hit the wall or rub the wall just a little bit to bend it to the right amount.
Right.
There's some engineer working on that, trying to figure out that to their advantage right now, I promise.
Oh, yeah. He's got a little 8-skill car right now running around a little track in his house right now.
Exactly. Oh, but anyway, guys, we want to thank, as always, our good friends that help us bring the show to you every week. Starting off with Earl Ramey Racing Engines. I'm going to tell you what, man, some of the best engines on the market. I actually talked to Earl today. We also know, speaking of surgery and stitches and all that stuff, Earl had surgery last week also on Thursday. He had it on his ankle, got some pins put in there and all that good stuff, and said he's feeling a lot better. He said yesterday and today he feels way better than he has in 2 weeks. So that's good to hear. So guys at the shop, I hate that for y'all because that means he's gonna be right back up there. Wide open with you. But no, that's kind of a dedication he has. Because I'm going to tell you what, when he was sitting there on the crutches and in the wheelchair and everything else while we were up there last weekend, he's on the phone constant with his guys about the motor program. So, guys, for your 2023 seasons coming up, you need to go ahead, get on the list, get you some of that Earl Ramey Racing Engine power under your hood. Get it because guys, spots are filling up fast to get these motors ready. It's insane. We've talked about before the list of motors that Earl has to get done for these guys, and it's like I said before, like we told him, you don't want to go to a motor man who don't have a waiting list. That's never good. So get yourself on this list because it's a big one. It's a big one. It's one that you want to be on to be at the front of your class. I don't care if it's supers, limited steel blocks, or crate motors, anything. Earl's got a package for you. So head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines and pick yourself up some horsepower. Get on their chassis dyno when you get that power on your hood and put on all the bolt-ons that's going to make all the power you can out of that thing. So head over there and bolt on some of them Profab headers and exhausts, ladies and gentlemen. They are quality that wins. They are the top notch in exhaust in the racing industry. Best looking, best performing, just awesome stuff all around. So head over to Profab headers and exhaust. Get yourself some of that quality there, guys. You're gonna want it for sure. Also, guys, and you can buy some of those Profab headers. SRI Performance is a distributor of Profab headers and exhausts. So head over to our good friends at SRI Performance. Pick yourself up some of those Profab headers or all the other thousands of items that they have in stock ready to ship to you or buy in their store today. Our good friend Derek McGrew Jr. was over there today with his car. He will be at the at Charlotte this weekend running his Sportsman Modified and ready to roll over there and have some good luck this weekend, hopefully. But guys, they're ready for your orders and whatever else you were looking for. So go online to www.sriperformance.com. Fill up that cart all you can, get it good and full, and at time of checkout, put in promo code CBONE10. That's C as in
chicken.
BONE10. Get yourself 10% off at time of checkout. Also, as we say every week, ladies and gentlemen, same deal over at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, guys. Man, they got all the materials you will need to build a race car. It is coming up off season for a lot of guys. A lot of these places winding down, getting towards the last races of the year. It's time to either rebuild or build from the ground up. Whatever you want to do, time to build a race car. Go to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Get all the materials that you're going to need to do all those projects you got there. It's in the heart of deer season down here too. Go get whatever you need. Make you some of the best looking deer stands you can, as Sterling always says.
That's right. Hot cookers and deer stands, but that's where it's at right now.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Speaking of, we planning us a cookout for some hog at some point in time, I think. So
yep,
ready for it. But so head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Call them up. Tell them what you want. They got it. If not, they'll get it. Promise you. So go get it today, guys. But anyway, I figure we'll go ahead and throw this out there. Next Monday, that will be Halloween. So we're going to take Monday off, I reckon. Let the kiddos go trick-or-treating. We'll go with them. I'm gonna dress as a race car driver, I think. Can I just walk around wearing my helmet?
Hey, man, you can do it, man. Do it, man.
I ain't got my fan hooked up to it, though, so I won't have fan, and I can't do it.
But just use your helmet as your bucket.
You know, I did that one year. No lie, I did that one year. I was I'm trying to remember how old I was. I had to be, I don't know, probably about 10 years old or so. 9, 10 years old. And I might not even been that old. I might have been about 8. And I had not said anything about wanting to Halloween has never been. I ain't trying to be whatever, but Halloween has just not ever been a big deal to me.
Yeah, no.
So I didn't even tell my parents I wanted a costume or anything this year. Well, my cousins, I remember, come up. They were walking around the neighborhood wanting to go trick-or-treating. So I had some dirt bikes and stuff at the time, so I had my whole dirt bike gear. I said, I'm going to be a dirt bike rider. And so I put on all my dirt bike gear, used my helmet I put the goggles in it, that way it wouldn't fall out. But I put my helmet, used my helmet as my goodie basket there. And then I think somebody painted some blood or something on my face, looked like I got in a wreck on a dirt bike, I guess.
At least your head wasn't in the helmet. That's a good thing.
Yeah, that was a good thing. I walked off from it, apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
Oh, but we got some big dirt racing coming up, guys.
Yep.
We got 2 weeks at Charlotte coming up.
Short Track World Championship, man. The 20th? That's this weekend, isn't it?
That is this weekend.
27th to 29th. Yep.
That was this weekend. I'm gonna tell you what. If you were taking your child and y'all going to the Short Track World Championship at Charlotte, take their Halloween buckets with them. Let them wear their Halloween costume out there. go into pits. All these drivers love it. They love these kids coming around with their and the families and everything. They give out all kind of candy around there.
They sure do. And you never know. They let you get in the car. They let you put tires on. They let you do anything around there, man. They some bunch of cool people for sure. They love it.
Cole found out quick.
He sure did. He wasn't dressed up, but he was having a ball.
I ain't kidding. So it's gonna be a big weekend at the Short Track World Championship at Charlotte. I guess you go ahead and put in a little bit of news. I don't have all the exact details of it yet, but y'all be listening. I guess we'll go ahead and put it out because after this coming up, pretty big news I think for us. Short Track World Championship this weekend. Not going to have a show Monday because of trick-or-treating. But Tuesday, I don't know what time yet. I just got a call this afternoon. I don't know what time or anything yet. But I will be at Longhorn Chassis on Tuesday.
Big news.
So who knows? I don't have a clue who's going to be there. I know we'll talk with a bunch of the head guys up there, all that fun stuff. But that'll be the Tuesday before. Everybody be heading over to Charlotte for the World Finals. I think they're starting there on Wednesday, so parking and everything on Wednesday anyway. And so who knows who will be around there. We will try to get whoever we can talk to us and hang out and see what all's going on. But that's going to be fun.
Yeah. Oh, it is, man. And, definitely some really cool people over there. And a lot of affiliates all together. This is going to be cool for sure. Definitely a good opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. And got to thank our good friend Earl Ramey for putting that together. He was when I was up there last weekend. Me and Kelly were up there last weekend. He had kind of talked about it. I said, "Man, put it together, make something happen." He said, "I'll do it," and so he did. So I greatly appreciate that. It was 2 big weeks of racing coming up here at Charlotte, and who knows what in between. So kind of winding down the dirt season for sure. It's kind of the last 2 weekends of it.
For sure. And then I also, one other thing I saw that was pretty freaking huge, really. It's kind of cool because it kind of relates to the Chili Bowl and money and all that. Anyway, the October 31st through the 1st of November, Millbridge Speedway, which is not too far from Charlotte. It's right up there, kind of in Mooresville area. Salisbury, I think, actually.
Salisbury.
Yeah. But they're going to have a $10,000 to win 600 non-wing micro race, dude. That's going to be humongous, man. That is huge. Especially considering, I think, I don't know what the 600 non-wing sprint or non-wing micros pay at the Chili Bowl, but I know it ain't $10,000 for sure.
No, it's insane. No, it is not. I think they pay like $2,500. I think maybe.
Yeah, so that's gonna be really, really cool. That's a major race. And we've seen on a Wednesday night, Thursday night, whatever that was, how big of a show they put on. So I couldn't imagine. That's just a regular week race. So for this year, I can't imagine the turnout, and anybody wants to see a lot of Cup drivers and their kids and everything else, they'll be there for sure. That's an awesome place to go. A really cool little dirt track in the middle of nowhere. So anyway, definitely want to. I mean, if I could get up there, then I'd sure go. It's definitely a cool thing to see. But it'll be on Dirt Vision, which I don't have that, but so I guess I won't be watching it.
But highlights and replays.
Yeah, exactly. But my point is, I think it's really cool that a small track like Millbridge. When I say small track, I mean it's grown to be a humongous deal. But paying $10,000, man, for 600 non-wing, that's huge.
Yeah, they definitely
so,
is. That's definitely huge. So y'all be watching that. Speaking of Cup drivers' kids and stuff like that, I didn't throw this in there earlier, but talking about Florence Motor Speedway was running this past weekend, the PD 225, PD 250, I think it's called. First of all, Landon Lewis, ARCA winning driver, Landon Lewis was driving a legend car over there again and just flat out stomped everybody as he always does. But also the man, the boy that made INEX change their age limit from 12 to 10 to drive a legend car was there. Mr. Keelan Harvick was running.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he went and run. Delana was down there with him. Ran okay. He was kind of darty at times watching it. But he ran okay. He's gonna be good. I mean, the boy's gonna be good. I mean, he don't have another option.
It's just no, but it's kind of funny though that he's not taking the avenue as much as Owen Larson and Brexton, going through dirt and stuff more so.
Well, that's because Kevin doesn't like dirt. Kevin has flat out said he don't like dirt, and Keelan wanted to run dirt and went over there and ran a what's the other little carts they run at Millbridge? I forgot what Outlaw cart. He lined up his own test with somebody because Kevin literally told him he didn't want nothing to do with it. He hates dirt.
Huh.
And so he went and drove it a couple times, but Kevin don't want nothing to do with it. Kevin thinks the way to go is legends and go-karts to legends, and he's already built he just took it down, finally got it on wheels the other day. He's already built a late model stock car.
Yeah, I'm kind of, and I wanted to say that earlier, and we didn't get to it at that point, but I'm kind of wondering, man, if that car is going to be in Florence. But I'm really interested to see.
He got it down in just the right time for it, didn't he?
That's what I'm thinking, man. Like, that's a huge race, and I could just see Kevin showing up there with Rodney. I mean, I don't know, man. That'd be kind of cool to see, for sure. But yeah, they got it ready just in time for it. So, yeah, that'd be interesting for sure.
Yeah. So we'll see. But that's the path he wants Keelan to take, and I'm not saying it's a wrong path because there's been tons of drivers. Look at
right.
There's been tons of drivers take that path. I think nowadays,
for sure.
I think you need to add some dirt in there.
Well, I think from what we've seen as of late, the younger guys, there's so much car control that you learn on dirt. Seems like to me. I mean, a lot of the guys that run that's really good on road courses or like running the wall at Homestead or whatever. There's a lot of these guys are dirt guys. I mean, even Austin Dillon. I mean, we've seen Austin run late models, and he drive a dirt car.
Tyler Reddick, all those guys.
Cindric,
obviously Kyle Larson. I mean, we'll throw him in there. Obviously,
for sure. But
yeah.
So I don't know. It's just I think you kind of need that. But hey, to each his own, I reckon. But the other thing I wanted to ask you before I forget is, the whole deal with Tony. Tony Stewart is not too. To me, sounds like too happy at all with NASCAR and everything that's been going on and whatever, the penalties and whatever. I don't know. But it seems to me like he has totally changed his views and his direction towards drag racing, which I know his wife, in drag racing. He's got his own team in drag racing now. Do you see him pulling away from the Cup stuff to more emphasizing that?
As long as there are sponsors in the Cup, I do not see Tony Stewart leaving. as long as they can still get sponsors, he will not leave.
Well, and that's my other thing though, because if Gibbs ain't making money, if Hendrick ain't making money, how is Stewart-Haas making money? How is he making money off of what he's doing? I don't know.
Well, first of all,
that was one.
First of all, Gibbs and Hendrick and whoever else can say they're not making money.
I mean, they're getting paid for sure. I know that.
They can. I'm just saying they can say they're not making money. If they're not making money in it and haven't been over all these years, they're not going to stick around.
Right.
I mean, right. That's any business. That's just business 101. You're not making money, you're not going to last. You can't tell me that teams that are getting, I would assume, last I heard, Hendrick cars were getting about $30 million a year in sponsorship money, in primary sponsor money. That's not counting affiliate sponsors. That's not counting other stuff.
That's not counting their percentage of the races.
Exactly.
Winnings.
Exactly.
All that, right.
Exactly. So just sponsorship, primary sponsorship. And now they're getting multiple sponsors to cover this now. A lot of them are. But they're getting right about $30 million a year in that. That's just like HendrickCars.com. People's like, well, he sponsored himself. No, he's not. If you think he sponsored himself, you need to go back to business class yourself, because you know this yourself, Sterling. If say Palmetto Machine decides to sponsor a car, that's not necessary. I mean, yes, it is coming out of money in your business, but it's not coming out of your pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's and with a business the size of HendrickCars.com.
Right, exactly. And they said
they're write off. I mean, the amount they have to write off in a year to try to save money in taxes.
Exactly. 100%. But also, they said that when they put it on the car, their sales went up. Now, granted, this could be other factors also, but it did come when they put it on the car and people saw Kyle Larson in it, because there's a lot of Kyle Larson fans that are going to say, hey, we're buying from this. But they claim their sales went up like 15 or 20% with a business that's already that big. That is more than $30 million.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yep.
So
exactly.
So in that, yes, I'm not saying they're not using one business to push over money to another business to get it roundabout back this way, whatever. That's how you got to play the game anymore. They're not losing money. Tony Stewart is not letting Smithfield Bacon be on that number 10 car every year and losing money to them, not just giving them sponsorship. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's not letting Mahindra Tractors come on there and him be on commercials and everything else. And he's just not, I mean, the man loves racing. I get it. And he probably just race to race. But NASCAR is now a business to him.
Right.
He's fed up with NASCAR enough. He's got his own series. He's got 2 of his own series.
Right.
And everything else. So NASCAR is, I hate to say it, but NASCAR is probably what's funding his other series.
Yeah. Well, that's very possible for sure. And I mean, in the NHRA drag racing ain't what it used to be, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know as far as pay, and I don't know none about it. But I know it's expensive to go fund a funny car team or a top fuel drag team, and he's doing it.
He definitely is. And I know the last I heard, now these prices, these are years and years old prices. I heard to send a top fuel car down one pass cost a team right around $10,000. Is what I heard. So I mean, and that's been years back. So you can, because just think about it, they're putting new pistons in a car every round. Every time it goes down track, rebuilding the entire motor. So those prices have gone sky high.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example of that. I need to get the motor for my Legend car rebuilt. I messaged a top-notch builder. Don't get me wrong, he's a top-notch builder. So I expect it to be high. Just a 4-cylinder Legend car motor. They want $30. He said anywhere from $3,200 to $3,800 to rebuild it.
Wow.
Yeah. So imagine what a top fuel car, nitro car, is gonna cost to rebuild.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. For sure.
And not counting all the other stuff they got going on, not counting employees and fuel prices, them driving up and down the roads, and I mean, just crazy stuff anymore. And the fuel, the fuel for them cars, that daggone nitro and alcohol now is insane. You think diesel prices are bad? Nah.
Nah.
Not compared to that. So,
nah.
I don't know. I mean, I just find it hard to believe nobody's making money in NASCAR. You know what I'm saying? I get where these teams are coming from. I get where these teams are coming from, wanting a bigger piece of the pie from the TV rights, and I agree with them. I don't disagree with them, because NASCAR is the series. Don't get me wrong; they're the sanctioning body. But if it wasn't for these teams there, ain't nobody watching.
No, not at all.
And so, yeah, in my opinion, they need to get a bigger piece of the pie. But ain't none of them going hungry.
No, definitely. No, I agree with you there for sure. It's just it's such a different market. If just for instance, quarterback that makes $45 million a year to throw a football. Just that one person.
Yeah.
That one person. And then you turn around and look at a race team, how many people's involved in that, and then I got $30 million to sponsor this car for a year. That wouldn't even pay that quarterback salary. Like, it's just it's crazy. Yeah. It's a different market, I know, but it's just a lot different money.
But I don't understand why. And that's the thing I don't understand, and I'm not close enough to the NASCAR side of it. I see my side of it. Coming from a Saturday night racer, it's hard enough for me. And I'll be honest with anybody, and we're not buying tires every week. I wish I could buy tires every week. It cost us just to go to track one week. It's a couple $100. I mean, that's just for 3 people to go to track.
Right.
And so
exactly.
And so obviously you scale that way up when you go to NASCAR. So, and I don't understand if we want, you hear them compare, especially first of the year when Super Bowl just came around and we're going to Daytona. You hear them compare the drivers to the team's quarterbacks. Okay, if that's the case, and I get that all of it is based off sponsorship, but if that's the case, why aren't we figuring out ways to pay our superstars like other sports superstars? I mean, I don't understand why. I don't get why the money's different. They're getting the same amount of TV, if not more TV time. These sponsors are. What sponsors are getting TV time for a baseball team?
Right.
Do you see the sponsors on their jerseys? No.
No. They're all over the wall.
Yeah.
But they're not on jerseys, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so different. And I can understand more of baseball because there's 160 something games a year. But in football, there's what, 18 games?
Yeah.
That's half of a cup schedule. I don't know. It's just it's crazy different. I don't know. and you know, like a Dallas. Take Dallas Cowboys for instance. Okay, that's in Dallas. That's in Texas. There's people all around the world that like the Cowboys, and they'll whatever. But I just can't see that many people going and pay. I don't know.
Well, but the thing is most of that money that are getting paid is coming from TV money.
Right.
And
exactly.
So I think NASCAR needs to realize on that these teams, if you want these to be the elite of the elite drivers, and the reason I like that, the reason I want that is because these teams right now are absolutely depending on the sponsors for their team to operate.
Right.
And so what does that do? That makes it so any driver can come in as long as they got a sponsor and they're going to run that car. Because that sponsorship dollar is what's making it. It's not the purse dollars they're even worried about. They care less about the purse money for the races. It is the sponsorship dollars solely that is running race teams. Now, if you bring in more TV money and split that up, either I guess you would have to do it through the purse, or either you just write every team a check. If it's X amount of dollars, and every car that's out there gets I guess it would be chartered cars, because the non-charters probably aren't going to be at every race. So you write every chartered team out there a check for X amount of dollars. Say that be another $15 million on top of, you know, what they're getting from sponsors.
Right.
What that does is lower that sponsorship dollar. You can pull in more.
Right.
You can pull in a sponsor easier, and then you go after the talented driver to appease that sponsor and keep that sponsor on the car.
Yeah, I agree with that. And here's my other thing with it. Every other sport, the salaries or the caps or the whatever are open. Anybody can find out what any of that is. It seems like NASCAR is the only sport that ain't open. Like you don't know nothing. You just assume, you know? Why is that?
That's the one side I'll say I probably agreed with NASCAR on. Is NASCAR side was, teams we need to come up with a salary cap for everybody. And the teams were against that, and they're just like, we need more money from this TV contract. Well, personally, I think they need to do both. I think they need... I'll tell you something else I think needs to be done, and this would be absolutely awesome. And you spread around more of that pie this way also. I say you take everybody who wants to, and they come up just like, I don't know if you want to say baseball, football, well, more like baseball probably, with AA, AAA, all that stuff. Let's take the pit crews and put them in a draft.
Yeah.
And have them, sign contracts with them that are just like football players, baseball players, whatever, put them through a draft and, have, I mean, literally you could set that up, just like a team, basketball team per se. That would seem really good to me. And they, obviously they be, I think on all of that there needs to be a salary cap. I don't disagree with that. But I think I'm one of these that thinks there needs to be a salary cap on everything. I know I'm saying, why aren't we paying our superstars? But I don't think anybody needs to be making $110 million to play baseball. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't.
No.
No, I mean, if you're the one doing it, more power to you. I'm happy for you for getting that deal, but I personally just don't think anybody needs to be making that kind of money just to play baseball.
I don't think anybody's made that money kind of doing anything.
No.
Period.
No.
But,
I mean,
whatever.
I mean, if you are, better off to you.
I mean, I'd be happy with podcast talkers making 110 million a year, but it ain't gonna happen. We'll talk all day. I will talk all day.
I will gladly donate it and tithe it and everything else. I promise you.
I promise.
I promise. But yeah. So I don't know. I think I could see both sides of it. I think they do need to get a bigger piece of the TV money, and I think there needs to be salary caps. I'll go with that. I'm not against either one of those ideas. So I can see more common ground, obviously, than they could see in the meeting.
Yeah, I agree. I do. I mean, but it's just like you said before. I mean, a lot of it's because of TV. I mean, take college football. College football, in my opinion, is probably the most money-making thing there is in sports. I don't know. Maybe NFL's above it. Exactly. That's my point. Where is it going? Where is that going?
That's college sports in general.
Right, for sure. But, I mean, now, college players are getting paid or endorsed or whatever.
Well, they're getting it from sponsors. They're not getting it from anything from the TV or the college themselves.
Right.
It's endorsements.
I'm assuming the college gets that money from TV. I don't know. But I know that, like a Tennessee-Alabama game, I guarantee you there was somebody in every state, multiple than just one person, watching that game.
Well, I know everybody at the boatyard in where were we at? Huntersville, North Carolina. Every one of them there was watching it.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, where is that? So it's a different. I don't know. It's hard to understand, but going back to the whole thing. No, I don't think team owners in NASCAR are losing money. I don't. Are they not making what they feel like they should make? That may make more sense. Are they not making what NFL team owners are making? No, they're probably not. Like a Dallas Cowboys owner, Jerry, whatever his name is. Jerry Jones, he's making money off of ticket sales. He's making money off of convenience.
That's also the difference. That's also the difference is the teams don't own where they're racing at. And I guess kind of to your point from earlier is instead of there being, I don't know how many football games were played yesterday. There was probably, I don't know, probably what, 12 games or so,
12 at least,
like that.
12, 13, 14 games, yeah.
Well, there was only one race.
Exactly. And to the other side of that is, well, I don't know. It's hard to say, but like a NFL team, just take that. An NFL team as a whole, there's a whole lot more involved in that, I know, than just one NASCAR Cup team. And do they want that? Do they want to get that to where it's going to be? I don't think that'll ever be that. I don't. No. They're trying. I think they're trying too hard to make NASCAR, as they all say, too appealing to everybody. I don't think they're going to do it. I think they just need to stick to just stick to enjoying the people that enjoy it.
Yeah, but I am gonna put one thing out there. I know we're going off on a big tangent on this, but I mean, whatever, it's news. But one thing you talking about, there are things I personally think could bring new eyes to NASCAR as a whole. I'm not just talking about one race. I'm talking about NASCAR as a whole. I think there are things that could bring that we could, as a sport, could do. One being kind of going back like I was, like, say, this is just an idea I kind of just had. I mean, I ain't really thought it through even, but we'll throw it out there. I really think, we've gone away here in the past couple of years since COVID. No practice time, hardly. Qualifying's different, short. And the race is pretty much the only time it's on TV, other than
Right.
the shows that come on FS1 and NBC during the week, which are all talk shows, or news talk, sports talk, whatever you want to call. I seriously think, and I've thought this kind of before, but going back to let's say that the pit crew stuff, like I was talking about before, put them in a draft. Let's put something up. I personally think there are things that could be done during the week on a show, on TV, like pit crew challenges that could be done on TV, with obviously sponsors and advertisements and everything else. And think about that. There's 40 teams pretty much out there on a NASCAR, on a Cup side, that all these guys could get involved in. And there'd be challenges, and each team come up and compete weekly. Yeah. And I think there's more content to be had on TV that they've taken away from.
They have. They had like the, what was that, the All-Star Week? They used to have the Pit Crew Challenge deal.
Yeah.
I used to love watching that, man. That was cool.
Yeah.
But like you say, do more of that. There's a lot of things they could do. You're right, for sure. But I think, honestly, I think more midweek stuff is going to help. I think it's going to help the series more so than anything, because once you get to football season, I hate to say it, I'm not this way, but there's a big percentage of people that are. Once you get to football season, Sunday afternoon, they watching football, dog. They ain't watching the race.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it.
Well,
but that's
especially when it don't put on good racing. That's the problem we had lately.
Yeah, when it's boring as I don't know what, you sit there watching, like, well, hell, I just take a nap, or I'll turn the Redskins game on, or whoever. Well, I guess it ain't the Redskins anymore. I'm sorry, I apologize. Somebody
they're gonna put you in trouble.
they gonna put me in trouble. Yep. They sure is. My apologies. But what I'm saying, that's the truth though.
Oh yeah.
Especially around other parts of the country. I ain't gonna say necessarily here. We're gonna turn the race on. We're gonna do whatever. Whether I'm watching it the whole time or not, it's gonna be on.
Oh yeah. I got it on, waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, I can go back. I can rewind, but thank Lord for rewind and watch the end. See what happens.
Exactly.
But anyway,
exactly.
No, I don't know. It's just there's a whole different market there, and I think TV as a whole needs more.
Well, I think they're trying to do it, but they're doing it with like these shows with Austin Dillon and all them, and like reality shows. And
ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work.
Nah.
Nah. I'm going to tell you, I don't even know what channel it comes on, but I ain't watching it.
Well, my problem is it's like you're trying to get two separate audiences. The typical sports fan doesn't watch that.
No, they're trying to get the what was that thing we watched in Darlington that I was shocked about?
The EDM concert goers.
Yeah. Trying to get those people, and no offense to y'all if y'all listening, but that ain't me, man. Like, I ain't. No.
Well, obviously, as we saw at Darlington, those aren't the sports watchers either.
No, because they stay outside, pass that in the bus.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just that ain't for me by no means. But yeah, I don't know. I know we went on, like you said, a big tangent there, but I think Tony Stewart he's going to stay wherever he can make money, and he's going to go wherever he can make money. And obviously he sees in the NHRA that he can make money. And I think, honestly, drag racing was big a few years ago. And I think the more Tony Stewart is in it, I think the bigger it'll get.
They needed another big name in it, because it was like I don't know, You had John Force. John Force ain't going nowhere. But I guess it kind of just became stagnant.
Well, it did, and then see, I mean, forever and ever, because Daddy was a big NHRA drag racing fan.
Oh yeah.
But forever and ever and ever, the big thing was qualifying. Qualifying was a 2-day event, and they all bunched it all up into a 3-hour, I guess it was, episode.
That's right.
And for a long time, it came on at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And he stayed up and watched it or whatever. But anyway, then they'd have the finals, and it would be bunched up into a short episode in the evening on Sunday or whatever. And then they try to do some live stuff, and that works some, but Fox has taken on it. And I think it's going to get back big again with Tony putting effort in it. I really do. So anyway, I just, that's my opinion. We'll see what happens in a couple years to come. But I like drag racing too. It's racing. Hey, we don't care. It's racing. We'll talk whatever. But but anyway, I think it'll be interesting to see.
You think we get Tony on the show to talk about drag racing? We'll do it. I mean,
I think he'll do it, but I think he will. I really do. I really do. I don't know that. But anyway, but he's going to have his first NHRA event coming up.
Yeah,
is what I was going to get at. I think he's driving a top alcohol.
That's right.
Dragster. I'm sure it's going to be powered and fueled and trailered by his equipment. I'm sure. I don't know, but
I can't say nothing. But he finally got down to weight to drive
it. Yeah, I'm sure Leah Pruitt is definitely Leah
Stewart.
Stewart is working on him getting in shape, because she stays pretty fit there and for all that. But anyway, yeah. So I don't know, man. It's going to be an interesting thing to see. But yeah. So hopefully he'll stay in the cup stuff. And I don't know. There's a whole nother show involved in this, but like now, like Dale Jr. is talking about, was kind of hunting and finding and working out a way to get into Cup Series. And now that the whole deal went on with that meeting, he's kind of like pulled the reins back. He's gonna chill out for a while.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I'm on the opposite side of that. Now I listened to that whole thing, and I was kind of on the same page Mike Davis was on. First of all, I think they were stupid to not buy it when it was they could get it cheap.
Right.
Even if you didn't use it for a year, lease it out for a year.
Exactly. Yep.
Because he had to know. Everybody in the sport knows that they were aiming for these charter prices to go up. I mean, that's what they were aiming for them to do. They want the owners to have some equity in their teams, and that's all well and good and great. So you knew you needed to get it as soon as possible. So he should have bought that charter for, from what I understood, he get it for what did he say, like $15 million or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it was stupid to not buy it then. Like I said, even if you lease it out, and then even if it never came to fruition that you have a cup team, you could have then sold that charter, and just in 1 year you could have probably tripled your money or more.
Yeah, exactly. I sure wish I could have an investment that way. I promise you, I've done it.
Exactly. I mean, and then even if you got into the cup side, I mean, if you had a Carter run in 2 years, great. But now he's looking probably he's going
to pay triple the price.
Especially once they approved his deal. All of a sudden, charter prices is going to go sky high.
Exactly.
So if you were looking at it, you were stupid not to buy it. I mean, I hate to say that, but he's like, well, I think it's going to hold it. I'm like, heck no, hurry up and buy it as fast as you can, because as soon as because they're going to approve it. That's the thing, is everybody knows if these teams, if they would get together and threaten and say, all right, if we can't make this, we're going to have to pull out. Guess what NASCAR's going to do? Say, well, here you go, because they can't function without teams.
No, they ain't gonna let it fall. They'll do whatever they got to do. But I don't know. We've said this before earlier on. Did the charter help or hurt the series? And I don't know that. I kind of feel like make a cheaper car, make something safe, or make it cheaper and not safe. Make a cheaper, safer car.
Well, they made a more expensive, less safe car is what they made.
Exactly what they did. Yep, they saved money on materials and then spent 3 times as much on engineers to figure out how to make it faster. But anyway, make a more affordable car that's safe. And allow teams to go. Allow teams to go enter the thing. Again, go back to NHRA drag racing. I don't care if you John Force. You've been there for 127 years. If you don't make the top 16 in qualifying, guess what you do?
I agree.
You put yourself in the truck.
I agree.
But that's what's got to start happening.
The fan
to have
in me,
more people.
The fan in me loves that idea. I mean, I do. Now, if I'm looking at us, if I'm looking at, let's say, Chicken Bone Alley, let's say I'm looking at it from a sponsorship side, to saying, hey, I'm putting millions of dollars here for this car right here. I don't like that from that side. And that's the side they're going with. They know you got to guarantee sponsors to be in a race for it to function.
Right.
And that's the side they're looking at. I mean, I don't like it. It's not my favorite thing. I think the fastest cars, the most talent, should be there. But that's just not what they're going to do.
Yeah.
It's sponsor driven. It's always going to be until, like I said, if they come out and can get enough money in the TV deal, maybe that'll take away some of that sponsor-driven stuff. It's like, because they're going to know. But my problem is they're going to do the same thing. They're going to get this money. They're going to spend so much more in engineering.
Exactly. That's exactly what they're going to do.
That's just like our buddy, and he said it on the show, our buddy John Rogerio Jr. He was a fabricator over at Hendrick Motorsports. They don't need any more fabricators because you can't fabricate anything on the car.
That's right.
There are certain things you can repair, and they have to be within a certain spec, but most of that's carbon fiber stuff because just the way the bodies are made now.
Right.
So what his job is now is he laser scans the underside of the car, the what do they call that? I guess the pan under the car now.
Mm-hmm.
And all they're doing that for is to find some minute gray areas that they can find to try to make a 0.00001 more points of downforce.
Exactly.
On these cars. And I mean, they're going to keep on doing that with the more money they get. So I don't care what you do. That is where I say exactly. You're not going to save money.
Right.
That is where I say the salary cap and or some kind of spending cap or something has to be done. But how do you police that? How do you police that?
You can't. Like, okay, we're gonna not allow you to take but so many people on the road, and you gotta only pay your crew members that jump over the wall so much.
Well, I think it's funny.
What is that doing?
And I think it's funny, and it's been shown this year with 2311 because of it in Kurt Busch's industry and in Bubba Wallace's absence. They only can have, one engineer at the track? Okay, well, they show them in a room there, and they got 10 sitting in a room at the shop.
Exactly.
with radios on. With radios on that they're radioing straight into the headsets of the crew chief.
Exactly. What is that changing?
You kept them from traveling. You kept them having to sleep in a hotel room. I mean, that was good.
Thank you for saving me a little bit of money. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's just a racket, man. It's so much of a racket.
And I don't know. I think it's one of them things you can't ever put the smoke back in the bottle, you know?
No, you can't. And you never will. And until it goes back to just good old boy racing, shit never will.
One other thing.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, You're right.
Yeah, but well, I'm saying like you take dirt racing for instance. You go back to just man, we get in this freaking truck. We go to the next. We go to the next place. Go to the next place. Run 80 races a year, whatever it is. I mean, that's just I don't know. They just it's just different. It's so different. It's such a business now. It's not racing. It's just a business.
It is. It is. But one thing I was gonna throw in there real quick. We can talk about NASCAR. Another piece of news that came out last week. I know the show's going long enough, but I guess it ties in to our discussion right here. Dodge was supposedly in talks for obviously 2 years, apparently, about coming back into NASCAR. Well, when NASCAR come out and said pretty much they want the lower horsepower to bring in more manufacturers, to make it available to bring in for more manufacturers. Between that and the TV deal, all of a sudden Dodge halted their talks.
What's that tell you?
Exactly.
Yep.
This is racing, people. Why are we trying to... I get me driving a 4-cylinder legend car. Yes, I should have lower horsepower. But a late model stock should have more than me. A super late model should have more than them. When we get to a truck series, it should have more than that. When we get to Xfinity, they should have more horsepower. When we get to Cup, which is the premier series of racing, supposedly not only in America, but supposedly worldwide, but I think it's just more in America. I think F1's got that worldwide stuff locked up right now. But regardless, it's supposed to be the premier series. Why are we have less horsepower?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't get it. They're trying so hard to be F1, it ain't even funny.
I'm pretty sure they want to go back to a V6 engine. It sounds like.
Yeah, I can see that. It's probably gonna be electric, honestly. They're probably gonna be taking 45-minute pit stops to charge their damn car up. That's probably what's gonna be happening here pretty soon. We're gonna go to watch a 30-minute episode of I don't know, Friends, and we'll be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be on a little bit. That's what's gonna happen. I'm telling you, I don't know though. I don't know. They're just trying so hard. Just go back to basics, man.
Exactly. But
go back to freaking basics.
I think that was another thing that Tony Stewart was upset with.
Yes.
Which was really funny to me though, because they didn't talk about coming in with Stuart Haas. Dodge was talking about they were in talks to come back with Roush Fenway Keselowski.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have ever thought they seen the day that Roush's NASCAR team would not be driving a Ford?
Well, I think they were kind of just taking anywhere. I mean, I feel like Dodge was saying, look, hey, we'll throw y'all a pile of money. We'll give y'all everything y'all want. Y'all the only Dodge team. We're going to give y'all everything y'all want.
It definitely was, and it is Brad Keselowski coming back. Brad Keselowski wanted Dodge back. I mean, he
right.
His dad was big with Dodge and all that. So I get that. But I was just surprised anything with Roush's name on it, he would go to any other brand other than Ford.
Right. Oh, I agree.
Which tells me that Roush is not far from getting out of it completely.
I think you're right. I think it'll be gone for too long.
I mean,
I really do.
Old Jack's getting up there in age anyway, and I think that's why.
Yeah, pretty sure he's
I think that's why Brad came in. So. Yeah.
Exactly.
Who knows? But anyway, guys. Well, while you're out there, guys, go check out High Octane Racing Apparel. Guys, there's some of the top apparel in the racing industry. You would definitely want to check them out for sure. Also, guys, if you check out MPM, McAllister Precision Marketing, our friend Tanya over there. Guys, if you're looking to get ahead in your racing career, be sure to head over to MPM Marketing. They are the premier marketing partner for all you race teams. Get you in front of all the names and eyes that you need to be in front of to advance your career, guys. So head on over there to MPM and market with MPM.com. But anyway, well, we've gone off on tangents long enough, I reckon. What else we got?
Dude, I think this is like a 4-hour episode, but I don't even know.
It's about half of that, literally.
Well, I'm about to go through the grocery store, so I can tell you what I'm looking at right now. If you want me to do that, I can do that.
Did you get a race car buggy?
No, that was sold out. It had no more. I'm sorry, I did not have an option.
Oh, dang. Oh well.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah, we sorry for being long, but it was a good one though. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, not a thing. Not a thing. Well, cool guys. Well, we appreciate all our partners as always. Earl Ramey Racing Engines, Profab Headers and Exhaust, SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, RK Motorsport Consulting, as you heard, High Octane Racing Apparel, MPM Marketing. Also, I want to thank Checkered, the Race Hub. Go check us out on social media on Checkered Racing social media all the time, guys. Also, Forward Bite Apparel, guys. Go check out Forward Bite. Check out their latest fashion trends they got going on. Also, check out Cole Vanderheyden coming off his rookie season in 305 sprints. So y'all go check them out for sure. But well, I reckon that's about all. I reckon.
Yeah, I think that's it. But I don't know if there's anything else to talk about.
I mean, we probably could come up with a few more things, but
oh, I'm sure we could. I feel sure we could do it.
All right, guys. Well, remember, there will be no actual podcast, I guess, next.
That's right. This is why we went so long today.
Yeah, we had to cover for two. So we'll be off next week. We'll be trick or treating. But check us out next week out at Longhorn Chassis. That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
And then after that, we'll be headed over to. We're both gonna go up to the World Finals.
Yes, sir. We'll be there.
Yep. I think we're gonna be there Friday.
You going Friday? You gonna go Friday? Okay, sweet.
It's gonna be later Friday, but we're going.
All right, we're good. Good.
So. But anyway, guys, all right, well, we sure appreciate y'all hanging out with us this week, and I reckon we will catch y'all next time.
Later.